right, and welcome back to episode 38 of NPR's Hops and Bops podcast. Joined with me are Mike and Joe, and I am producer Tom. This is episode 38, where we have brought to you Flobots Fight with Tools, and also to pair with that, Bad Sons Doobage. I'm trying to get sponsored by NPR.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so NPR, if you want to sponsor us.
I'm sure they'll eat us right up.
Yeah. I was really trying on that
good.
one. So,
Yeah.
Anyway.
We fit right into the brand there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, so I really stole your thunder with introducing you guys,
It is
but
quite okay.
But we're back. We're back with another episode. Fight with Tools with Flobots and Doobage by Bad Sons.
Yes. Let's get into it.
Yes, please.
So, the brewery of the day is Bad Sons Beer Company out of Derby, Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
I've been wanting to do a beer by them, and I went there recently, and I had this on tap, and it was delicious. This is my favorite beer that they've put out. Big fan of it. So the beer is called Doobage, and if you know them, they have kind of funny names like Doobage, Dubious, Lupified, kind of, I don't know, these like cool names. So this fits right into it. This is labeled as a chronic IPA, and I believe they just used the word chronic because this was their special 420 release. It was it was tap room only. You can't find this in stores. And basically I learned that this is a like an amplified version of their flagship IPA, Dubious. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is it's a 9% New England IPA. So it's single, but it is 9%. So I'm curious to see what you guys are going to have to say about it. So shall we?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Nice.
Nice crack.
Yeah. So the can is pretty much the same can as Dubious.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There you go, Tom.
Thank you.
Yep. I mean, your classic IPA look.
Mm-hmm.
Good smell. Amarillo and Simcoe hops are the feature hops in the beer.
That's really interesting.
Let's see. Here we go. Cheers.
Oh, cheers. Nice clink.
Yeah, it's so good.
That was a very smooth.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really
9%, you usually get a little bit of that boozy taste or some sort of like bite to it, and it doesn't really have that.
I think it's because it's a single. It's still classified as a single IPA.
I guess I would label that as dangerous.
Yeah. Yes, very dangerous.
You could drink a couple of those and get pretty fucked up and
real quick
not really notice.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I like
it's too late.
I like on the side of the can, keep cold, and there's a picture of a bong. Drink fresh.
Yeah,
and there's a picture of a pot leaf, and then pass left. And there's a picture of a joint. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, brewery only for this 9%. Big fan of this. I wish this was a kind of year-round beer. Mm-hmm. Cool fact about the brewery: the words "Bad Sons" is actually an acronym. Every letter stands for a town in the Valley section of Connecticut. So we have Beacon Falls, Ansonia, Derby, Shelton, Oxford, Naugatuck, and Seymour. Bad Sons.
Interesting.
That's clever.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
I didn't know that until I went there and I saw a sign with all the names, and then the first letter was a different color. I was like, oh shit. And then on their stickers it has it too.
Yeah, it says Valley Proud right on the side
Valley
of the cans.
Proud, yeah. Yep. Yeah, I always thought that was pretty cool. Their logo is sweet. It's like a skull head that has like a hop on top. Mm-hmm. This was kind of always what I envisioned, like for our logo.
Kind of like our monkey.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
kind of a hop character.
Yeah, this is like the X-ray of
Mojo.
Mojo.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, cool. So I'm curious to see what you guys think.
No, it's really good. Very smooth.
Yeah.
Standard New England IPA, got that citrusy flavor to it. You
Yeah.
know, standard kind of cloudy, you know, that yellowish cloudy, that golden color, I guess you'd call it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I would be interested to try Dubious and see what the major differences are.
Yeah.
Because I've never had that one before.
I don't think I have either.
Yeah, it's a cool brewery. They have a good indoor spot, great outdoor spot, nice little hop yard, huge fire pit right in the middle of it.
That's cool.
And then there's a local pizza joint called Roseland. they recently opened Roseland like on site, so they're like permanently there cooking pizzas.
It's cool.
And then nearby, there's a great wing place called Do Drop In. Awesome wings, and I don't know if they allow like outside food anymore because of the pizza. It would be like conflict of interest, but it's still great. Like while you're in the area, grab some wings from them. But it would be a cool place. Like if we went sometime, hang out, grab some beers.
For sure.
Yeah, awesome.
And to pair with it,
yes,
we have Flobots' first album released in 2007, Fight with Tools.
Right, this was their debut, right?
This was their debut album. They had the big hit was Handlebars.
Yes.
At that time, you heard that everywhere.
Yep.
And I'll be completely honest with you. When it comes to whether it's vocals, instrumentals, all those different things, by no means would I ever put this band or this album as like, oh my God, they are so good.
Yeah.
But everything that they put together makes for a very kind of like just fun album. Like you can't take it too seriously, like in my opinion. I don't know. Like you can't. I know it's got like a political side to it, and it does have like that lyrical content. I guess what I'm more leaning towards is you can't be. If you're super critical of the album, you could probably tear this album apart. Like if you really got deep into the everything, which Tom's nodding his head because he probably is ready to do that.
I mean, we do kind of do album reviews.
No, I get that.
I understand what you're saying.
But this album, in my opinion, just as an overall, like I find it to be kind of just a fun listen to album. Like I enjoy the vibe it puts off, and you know, it does have its political undertones and some of its you know, a little more serious content. But for being kind of like maybe not the best rapper and not the greatest musicians and all of that, they just put together like a good fun album in my opinion.
Yeah,
I enjoy listening to this album.
Yeah, I remember listening to this in college with you. Like this was maybe one of our first albums we've kind of shared together.
Yeah, it was right at that time.
07, yeah. And I had never heard of them before, and I remember I bought their second album but never really listened to it.
I actually do. Their second album, in my opinion, is a little bit like more rock based, and you know, a little, I guess you could say, heavier.
Yeah.
They have the singer from Rise Against on one of their songs.
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he does a like a guest vocal spot, which is really cool. I actually really like their second album too.
Cool.
So
they and they're still going today. Like they just put out an album this year, 2021.
Yeah, after the first two.
Yeah.
I've listened to some of it, but I haven't. Not as much as I listened to these first two.
This is really the only impression I have is this album. And, you know, it's good. I love how they combined the rapping with the singing, and the guitar it has a good sound, the drums have a good sound. I like the female vocals. I like the violin. I like the horns. Yeah. It's a cool combination of everything. I just felt like at times they sounded kind of amateur, like they showed their novice at some points. But no, it was a cool listen. Again, I'm not too political with music. I'm
not either.
You know
me.
But I appreciate the things they have to say, and it's again funny how a lot of the things they're saying are still ringing true today. You know, 14, 15 years later, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah, that's true.
Right.
2008 was
this stuff would like go over huge today.
Yeah, pretty wild.
I mean, I feel as though like, especially with hip hop being such like the cultural zeitgeist, if you will, of the modern streaming platforms along with pop, kind of incorporating a regular not regular, but like, you know, guitar, drums, and like horns and violins is a bit taboo to do in today's rap scene. But what they do, I think you are right in terms of it's more fun. It's not meant to be taken as seriously.
Yeah.
But I feel like they want you to take it seriously, especially given the heavy concepts and the lyrical content and all this other stuff. They are generally, they're one-hit wonder, basically, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
no other songs really hit after Handlebars.
No.
So it was a very interesting album pick from you. I was kind of taken aback. But there are some good parts on this album that I enjoyed. But let's get into it, I guess.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Kind of that shorter opening track.
Yeah, a little introduction.
War going on for your mind.
Yeah, a little introduction. I mean, it was okay.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing I will say with the lyrics. Now, again, we have the political aspect and all of that. When they do some of their talking stints, it is kind of all over the place. Hard to follow a little bit, what he's trying to get across. They got the one later on, I forget which song it is, where there's a woman talking through, and she's talking.
Oh, was it
Anne Braden?
Anne Braden, yeah.
And she's talking, and she's nude portraits of elderly, blah blah, and I'm just you kind of get a little lost in what she's saying. So when they do those little talking stints, sometimes those are all over the place.
Yeah.
So musically, I thought this track was kind of cool as an introduction, just that they have that string in the background with that violin, the drums come in, and then
it almost sounds very revolutionary, where it's got that marching snare and the violins in the back. I kind of wish they incorporated more of that, because especially with the lyrical content, it almost sounds very old school Revolutionary War almost
I can see that
style.
These guys remind me of a tamed down, fuller Rage Against the Machine.
That is exactly what I was going to say next.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Sorry, Tom.
No, I'm glad you mentioned it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of just the same mindset. They're coming in from the same angle. Definitely not as heavy, but
yeah, no, I would not put them on the same pedestal at all.
No way.
No,
in no way.
No, and they obviously don't have the same impact or anything.
Oh,
that.
No.
But I get what you're saying.
This is actually what I think we would have sounded like if we had continued our originals.
Oh, okay, yeah,
and
I can see
incorporate maybe not the lyrical content, but the horns and the strings.
If we had that kind of stuff.
I was thinking something similar to that too.
Yeah,
I was because I could see why you guys would be huge fans of this, because a lot of Smooth Series originals sound, because it's a full band with a rapper,
with a hip hop.
With that hip hop twist,
funky groove, grooves and acoustic guitar elements too. Yeah, cool.
And then Mayday comes in.
Yeah.
Which is a good song.
Yeah, it's tight. They're tight with one another.
My only question is, why does it say album version edited?
Yeah, on a few of the tracks too. I don't know.
Was there
mine just says explicit.
Oh.
So
kids, don't listen to this song.
Yeah.
I listen to the censored one.
I think this was the album. A lot of the swears were censored on this.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because there is another release on Spotify. Their explicit versions on here too.
Gotcha.
See, I
didn't even see that. The edited one.
Yeah.
One thing I did like about this song was the two vocalists kind of overlap each other, and I thought they did a pretty cool job with that. It doesn't sound messy; it really flows pretty well. And like you said, it's a very tight kind of hoppy song.
And I like that. Yeah, and I like how the horn is kind of above that, kind of with that droning note. It's just cool. I don't know. They did a good job with that.
You have that little that violin. I will admit he's not the best rapper.
No.
But I think for what they do, he fits.
Yeah.
But I mean, especially even sometimes with some of his rhymes, they just, they're a little forced and aren't quite as smooth as what we're used to.
Yeah, when he's crossing the bar line, if he's doing one word, he'll breathe in the middle of it, and it kind of sounds weird.
Yeah.
He'll start a word, and then he'll take a big breath, and then he'll say the rest of the word, and you're like, why did you? That doesn't really sound very smooth at all.
Well, again, I think it shows their kind of amateur.
Yeah.
This is their debut album.
Yeah.
They kind of just let it all out. This is what they were doing.
But like I said, musically, I think it's just a fun, especially musically, to listen to, because there are so many kind of different things happening.
Right.
And it flows pretty well. You're not hearing a guitar just play chords. You know what I mean? The drummer's not just playing a groove. They're very jumpy. They're very all over the place sometimes, but they make it
almost jazzy.
Well, if you look at what their genre is, it's rap, rock, jazz, fusion, alternative rock, political hip hop. I mean, that pretty much covers everything that we've just discussed.
That would be it. I wanted to know who was in the band. Because when you look them up on Spotify, it's just two guys.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a girl singer. There's a violinist. There's horns. Like, are they just session musicians?
Right now, it's saying that there's
4 people in the band right now.
rapping vocals, guitar and additional vocals, viola and vocals, drums, and then bass.
Okay.
And then there's additional musicians with other vocals, trumpets, cello, sample.
So that's who's on this album.
Yeah.
Okay, so currently I'm on like the band Wikipedia.
Okay.
You have Jamie, Johnny Five, Laurie, which he's referenced to a lot in here. Johnny Five, I hear lead vocals. Stephen Brer Rabbit Brackett lead vocals, so 2 singers.
Yep.
And then Kenny O. Ortiz on drums. Those are the only current members.
Okay.
Guitar
Andy,
left.
Okay. Andy
Bass
Guerrero.
left. So
bass was Jesse Walker.
Yeah, he left.
And then viola and vocals, Mackenzie Roberts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah, so it looks like a lot of guys left, a lot of people left in like 2011, 2014, 2016, but then they all rejoined in 2018 for some reason.
Okay.
And then they left after that again. Now it's just these
Interesting.
3 guys, I guess, with like session people.
Okay.
So I'm curious to hear what they sound like on
Yeah.
their new albums, kind of like that.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
Yeah.
Because like I said, the only difference between this album and then their second album was the second one was a little more straightforward, a little more rock. So I guess you could say a little less of kind of this jazz, all over the place kind of sound that they really pulled off. But yeah, and then we move on to Same Thing.
Yeah. I liked the songwriting. I like the lyrics. Just kind of how it's about like, new leader in office at whatever level. You're just hearing the same thing over and over again. What was that bridge?
Stay in the same.
I didn't say to overthrow, and then they.
Yeah.
It's just kind of just about the people getting frustrated.
Yep.
With whoever's in power. I thought that was cool. It was a well written song. But if you listen to the music, it doesn't match like what they're saying. It was like a cool kind of blend.
Yep. I just like with this one, like again, you have that horn, and a horn almost sounds, in my opinion, almost sounds kind of like what you'd expect, like in a blues guitarist.
Yeah.
Like kind of those little licks
Little
out
accents.
of nowhere, and those accents that you just, kind of, and the horn's doing it though. And like really, it's almost like an annoying note, but it works. You know what I'm saying though? Like it is. It's kind of an annoying note that. Like if it was alone, you would, but because of the way they're flowing it in there, it actually, in my opinion, it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I can see that.
You can hear like obviously the 2 different vocalists, and then they kind of play off each other. And the
girl too.
Yeah, the girl comes in and she throws in her like kind of some harmonies, and then some different backing vocals. I think they mix vocalists well.
Yeah.
No one kind of overshadows the other, and they sing at the right times. Sometimes you get too many people singing, it can get kind of a little messy. I think they do a good job blending that.
Yeah.
And one thing I will say, on the album cover, they're all COVID compliant. They're all wearing their masks.
Oh, is that right?
Not all of them.
Oh,
well, that's
yeah, 2/3 of them are wearing their masks. So,
man,
lady on the right and scary lady on the left.
And one song, the lyrics there, like, I can hand out 1 million vaccinations.
Yes,
like
that's on Handlebars. Isn't
Handlebars.
Is it Handlebars?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's like they knew.
They predicted it.
Flobots.
Next song, Stand Up. I actually enjoy this song.
Yeah, that's a good song.
It reflects a little bit of what I was saying on the opening track, where it kind of has those like Revolutionary War militaristic vibes. Yeah. I can understand that, and I appreciate that with those strings. I think really add a lot to that.
And it's kind of funny too, because like in songs like this, musically, there's not a lot going on right now.
Right.
Yeah.
There's literally just that viola going. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I think a little bit for that as me is I'm not a big fan of like rap rock or anything like that. I mean, the closest I'll get is Rage, which you mentioned is pretty similar.
Yeah.
But I don't know, just when they incorporate a lot of like other bass and guitar, it doesn't really blend well for hip hop with me.
Okay.
I mean, obviously bass is important for that, but I don't know. I appreciate this one a little bit more because it doesn't really heavily include those.
I like the bass drum. It's like one of my favorite parts because it's just in the
and then
back.
when the snare comes in,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the drums add a lot.
little rim work.
Yeah, they're not over.
It's a very simplistic song.
Yeah.
It's really just vocally.
Mm-hmm.
it allows the vocals to take the forefront. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I like during the chorus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
That's
thought
cool.
this was a good one with
Mm-hmm.
the simplicity and really just focusing on the lyrics and the rapping.
Yeah.
You know, like you're saying, they didn't make this song too messy. They just, this is what it makes that stand up. You know what I mean? They're trying to talk about, you know, just politically and standing up for whatever it is you need to. And, you know,
It sounds like it's like the people are looking for someone to just like take the lead and stand up.
Yep.
Put your hands up and I'll copy you.
Yeah. No, that was cool.
We will not be moved.
We just need that push, you know.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of a good standout on this album.
Yep.
Stand up, stand out.
Ooh,
And then you have the
clever wordplay.
Yeah. And then you have the title track.
No,
Didn't do it for me.
ain't about it.
Most title tracks don't.
This ain't it,
go
dog.
well. I wasn't a bad.
I liked
fan,
it.
though.
I like this song. I thought it was pretty cool. It was kind of chill.
Picks up the pace a little bit.
Yeah.
With that drum, you know, a little more of a running drum line.
This was the song at the end.
Like that
The
little
ending.
symbol hit. Ding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part. That part actually comes back in later in the later track.
Oh, okay.
How this song ends,
Does
they
it?
like revisit it,
Oh, okay.
and I kind of like that. That was cool. Yeah, I enjoyed this.
Yeah,
song.
I mean, I wouldn't mark it as like a super standout song, but it was good.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't a bad song.
I disagree. I didn't like it. I don't know. It should. I don't know.
Almost spit my Doobage everywhere.
I don't know. It just didn't. I don't know. It didn't shine vocally as much as I wanted to, especially on the chorus. It was kind of like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Especially coming right after or right before their biggest single.
That's true.
Their biggest biggest hit. Which I get, unless you have anything else to say about the fight.
No, I liked it. I mean, at this point in the album, because I'm not a lyric guy, some of the music is kind of empty, but it's cool to listen to too. Like I kind of like what the drums do a lot, but so it's like I'm waiting for that big moment, and the ending of Fight with Tools was kind of one of those moments for me. I liked how all the instruments at the end were in that that combined part. I kind of liked it. Yeah.
There are parts on this album too where I think it's a bit more difficult to focus on the lyrics because they aren't really as present. Like you were saying, they're a bit amateurish, and that comes off in the mixing.
Yeah.
Because they aren't really in the forefront most of the time.
Right.
So a lot of their lyricism can be a little bit muffled in a sense.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like all the way in the back, you can't hear it. But it's not right in the forefront, which for hip hop and rap, where lyricism is key, that's really important to have.
Yeah.
And I just didn't think it shined as much as they thought they wanted it to be. You know, so.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you go into their most famous song, I guess you put out there, their first single, the song that you heard on the radio. Always thought it was really weird that radio edited out the word Holocaust.
I was going to say,
It's very strange. They don't on the album if you listen to the regular album, but when you listen to the radio single, it the word Holocaust is completely just, and they don't even like fill it with anything.
Oh yeah,
It's just nothing. It's very strange.
Interesting.
Yeah. We actually did this song for my a cappella group, right near the end, which was it was an interesting choice because I'm not a huge fan of the song in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand this song personally.
Yeah, no. It's very.
It's annoying. The violin plucking at the beginning. It's just too like cliche.
It's a radio song.
This is a skip for me.
I mean, this was the song. This was the song that the general public could listen to and get on board with.
It was very much 2008.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I say a lot, but I feel like a lot of the lyricism also on the song is very do nothing too. I remember one line. It was, me and my friends saw a platypus. Me and my friends made a comic book. And guess how long it took? I can do anything that I want. Because look. It's like, I don't know. I understand, like, I can do anything kind of mentality. But it's like, yeah, maybe my friend saw a platypus over there. It's pretty cool. I want to write that down, put it in a song.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
But I do kind of see why it got so popular.
I guess one thing I will say for it is that even though there's a lot of lyricism happening, like with the rap portion, it's very easy to sing if you know the lyrics.
Fair enough.
And it makes it a very kind of like, it makes it, they're like sing-along, you know what I mean? People can just sing along to this and almost sounds like you're doing better than you are, because the lyrics aren't super difficult, but you can sing them all. They're pretty quick. And,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know,
I can see that, yeah.
Where like with like Eminem and Rap God, like people were trying so hard to sing all that in one breath and record themselves and
Exactly.
Whatever, so I don't know. And then you had that one riff that the violin was playing, the guitar was playing, the horn was playing. Like it's just that repeat. It's drilled in your head.
Yeah.
I will say about like right in the last leg of the track where everything starts to build up, when he's look at me and then we stop, and then the whole thing stops. I do
Signature
appreciate
pause.
that. Yeah, I do like.
They're
the
a very
pause.
tight band.
Yeah.
They really
Yeah, they
are.
are. Yeah.
For having as much going on as and being as kind of amateurish as they are on this album.
Yeah.
They do have a lot going on, and they're very tight with what they do. I feel like you have to be, otherwise this could be very messy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there's so much going on.
A lot of moving parts.
So I do give them that credit right there.
Yeah. It does build really well too.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah.
It has its parts. I mean, that's really all you can say. It's got its parts. You can tell why it's a single.
Yeah.
It's really weird when you yell in a hall, in a hall.
In a hall.
Because there's no...
I mean,
It's so weird.
It
So
is, of
strange.
all words.
Yeah.
Well, it's especially
What the
because he's
hell?
screaming it right at the very end too. But I will say, it didn't.
I remember being in, like, college, so, like, shortly, like, a year maybe after this came out, or whatever, being in a mall. That was on in the background. I'm like, all right, and that's when I first noticed that all of a sudden it would say, I'm singing along to it, because, again, I know it, I've heard it, and all of a sudden it's just, like, cutting out Holocaust, and I was like, of all words, that's super strange.
Yeah.
Like, to be cutting out that, it was just very odd.
Yeah.
However, never had it. I really like the vocal intro there.
Yep. The female.
Into the female.
I love this song.
Yeah.
It was a great song.
And the fact that she's actually got a significant
Yes.
vocal part.
I enjoyed it.
She has a great voice.
This was a great song to have a female lead on. It blended very well.
And I honestly think it actually comes pretty smooth after Handlebars. That
Yeah.
big build up,
Yeah.
and that song ends, and then you come in with that.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. I don't know. It flowed well for me.
Yeah.
And having the female vocals take over, they go into that
Yeah.
like.
I like the drums.
The
How like
drums
sometimes
come
he
in,
does
yeah.
like 16th notes on the hi-hat, switches
Yeah.
to eighths, and I like how
And it's
like the
their-
rapping is done by the guy, but then a lot of the singing is done by the girl.
Yeah.
And, it's just a good blend. You have the calm like horn in the background.
I thought rap wise he was pretty smooth on this one.
Yeah. It was a good tempo. It was a good tempo where you could rap well.
Yep.
You never had it. Yeah. Good
Yeah,
song.
it wasn't super. It wasn't a lyrical miracle rhinestone kind of really fast
Yeah.
rap that was very. I mean, they just did on Handlebars. He slowed it down a lot,
Yep.
and it was a really good change of pace to have those female vocalists come in and.
I feel like
onto
this was
that.
one of those songs where they did everything right.
Yep.
Does that make sense? Like they didn't there wasn't one thing that was missing with this song.
I do think violin was missing. Was there a lot of violin on it?
No, but I feel like the horns kind of supplemented for that.
Yeah.
And I
Also,
do
remember
like
she's
that.
singing.
True.
Yeah, that would be
Oh,
right.
Oh, is she the? Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
So
you're right,
I
yeah.
don't really know.
If you can sing and play violin.
I'm not sure if that's a thing. Yeah, I don't know if you could do that. I'm sure you can.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I'm sure it's
tough.
not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even like during those interludes,
Yeah.
because I actually do really like the violin on their songs. Just wish there was a little bit on this song, because now I feel like I could say it does have everything.
Yeah.
But
I get
well,
that.
What are you gonna do? Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, great song. Big
It
fan
really
of this
is,
one.
yeah. And it's their, like I said, the longest song on the album.
Yeah.
And it doesn't
yeah.
feel like it though.
No.
Like it doesn't drag.
No.
I like how it ends too. Nice little guitar solo. It builds up
Yeah.
double time. And it ends big.
Yeah, because you really don't hear much guitar solo. I don't think it might be the only one.
Yeah.
I mean, guitar obviously plays a lot more like, a lot less rhythmic and a little more lead style.
Yep.
You know, with kind of some of those bluesy licks and things like that. But this is like, I think, might be the only solo on the album.
Has a very John Frusciante, Chili Pepper solo vibe, which I like.
Yeah. Almost kind of like a messy solo, but it's done right.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
No, I think all around that's one of the best songs on the album for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come in with Combat.
I really like this one too.
Again, coming in with the vocals.
Yep.
You know, and layering the vocals at the beginning. It's 2 in a row, and they
that bass intro too.
Yeah, drums, that snare drum on this one. It's got that nice pop with a little ring on it.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
I like the tom-tom hi-hat. And
Yes.
the drummer follows it. Yeah. That was cool. It's just a fun song. It's a fun song.
You know? And this is where, like, again, Combat is the title. So you're, like, really thinking political war, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the music is fun. You know? So that's where they kind of contradict themselves, as you said.
Right.
But I think if you can not get too sucked into the political side of things, it's just a fun album to listen to.
You know what? As we're going along and I'm listening to it, I feel like I'm listening less to the lyrical side of it as it goes, which can also kind of be a knock against it because it's a rap. You know, you do want to pay more attention to it, but now I'm listening a bit more to the instrumentation and the build of it.
Yeah.
And it is fun. I do see where you're coming from with that. But
there's not many bands out there doing this.
Yeah.
So, like, this is kind of one of those albums when you're in this kind of a mood, you throw it on because it's just fun to listen to, even if it's in the background. Which, again, is kind of a knock when you talk about a political, lyrical rap band.
Yeah, you're not paying attention.
You're not really paying attention to the political lyrics.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of sucks for them.
Yeah.
But you're not finding a lot of this style of music, this rock, rap, jazz fusion, like, very one of a kind with that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And with Combat, too, it's only like 2 minutes. It's one of the shortest non-intro tracks on the album.
Yeah.
So they really keep it short, but what they do out of that, it's more fun, you know. You know, when you got the
right.
And, you know,
it's like a transition song almost.
Yeah. I kind of wish they not necessarily did more of it, but kept this kind of sound into some of their slower, less... not less interesting, but less important tracks, I guess. I don't know.
No, I hear you.
Yeah. However, the next song, The Rhythm Method, I really, really like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a cool intro with that violin.
7/8 time, right? Am I
Yes.
right? Yes.
Yep.
Which
They do
I
it so
expect
smooth
on
you
this-
don't even notice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It kind of just...
Well,
I
yeah.
expect it on this kind of album.
Especially because it's called The Rhythm Method, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to be paying attention to the rhythm.
Yep.
So isn't that also when you, like... Oh, no. Isn't that when you, like, birth control the rhythm method? You have to go by the cycle and the count of days.
Is that it?
I think that's, yeah.
God damn it.
Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme.
Move!
No, this is a good song, though.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yep.
Yeah, I've mentioned before, even on the last one, I like odd time signatures, especially when it changes things up on the rest of the album.
And this is a fuller song, too. You got a lot going on. It's a little bit bigger of a song when it comes musically wise.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, it does kind of lack a what's the word I'm looking for again? Like a regular chorus, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really have that, but I think it makes up for it. You know, this is where the violins went.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were missing on what was it, Never Had It.
Yeah.
They came back on this one.
Yes.
They were just lost for a little bit.
Agreed.
Yeah.
you go.
They found their way back.
This was their like pee break song.
Yeah.
Then you've got
I want some
And
more
Braden.
Doobage.
and Braden, which this one's
Yeah.
political beyond political.
Yeah.
And they really, again, they got that bass line and they just focus on lyrics. Like, there's really not much else there. It's just lyrics.
Yeah.
And for someone like me, this is I can't get into this song because I'm not listening. You know, while the lyrics have their purpose and go for it, but as a music listener, the kind of music listener I am, this song was
Yeah.
I lost it on this song.
Yeah. And
go ahead.
and I fuck with and agree with all their politics too, but the way that they present them, I feel like is a little too heavy-handed, you know?
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's music. You know, you want to not throw away any kind of musicianship just for the sake of politics, you know? So I feel like they should have mixed that well with the rest of the band. But I understand its purpose, you know?
Yeah,
it's there for a reason.
I think when it comes to his rap, I think this is one of his better raps. Like, just flow-wise and everything. I think it's just got a very good flow to it.
Mm.
You know, if we don't focus necessarily political at that point, just talk about, like, the flow of his rap with the music in the background. Like, I just feel like it's got a very smooth flow to it. And then I think the female vocals for that chorus, this has a very distinct chorus.
Mm-hmm.
And the female vocals being the prominent in that chorus, I think they play really well off each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, the last couple songs have been very fun, and then this one just kind of like hits you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't know if necessarily it's the best place for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good song, but I think maybe it should have been maybe more towards the top where things were a little more political, or I don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know if you put it more towards the top because of its tempo and
Is it a killer? Yeah.
it might be a killer towards the beginning. I don't know where else they could have put it.
You know. Yeah, but it was, you know, I don't think it was a bad song by any means. I just think it was. I agree with you though. It is very vocally and politically driven, and so this one you almost have to listen to the lyrics.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't get away from it.
Yeah.
And I think there was a purpose there because it is probably their most like.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say controversial, but it's like their most like
Polarizing.
Hey, here it is.
Yeah, and if that's your thing, then I mean, you'll get a lot out of this song.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, right.
you know, not really us. But
Yeah.
But
yeah.
We Are Winning is next. Another very spoken wordy intro.
Yeah.
Similar to the last
This
one.
is the one I was talking about earlier.
Yes,
Where like
I realize that now.
some of the it kind of went all over the place for me.
Yeah.
You know, the older woman talking, and I kind of lose a little.
This is the song that is like Fight with Tools revisited.
Yes.
Because after the spoken word, that music.
Yeah.
That was. It's the same exact part from Fight with Tools. So I wonder if that was by design.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
It was cool how they brought it back in. It was kind of like part two.
I don't know. This song
could,
always just kind of loses me a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably my least favorite because she comes back in with the spoken word like halfway through.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, well, I'm not really a huge fan of that.
I like the drums. It's kind of hypnotic for me, and I like
changes
that.
up a bit.
Yeah, it's a solid groove throughout.
Yep.
But then it'll change like the bass drum a little bit, some fills.
No, I can agree with that.
Yeah, yeah,
and then Rise, their last song,
yeah.
was actually their second single.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say it has a bit more streams than
Yeah,
the
it's
other
their second
ones.
single. I don't think I've ever heard it on the radio like I did Handlebars.
No.
I feel like it was just a tough transition from 9 out. 9 was like, you know, you have the rhythm method, everything's kind of grooving, things are good.
The last,
and then like 10, 11, 12 just kind of died.
I can agree with
kinda
that.
Go
Yeah.
low, and it made it hard to really.
Another solo though.
Yeah, but it just made it hard to like. It was an interesting way to end an album.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of had this like fun thing going on, and then all of a sudden 10, 11, 12 was like super political, super low key, and just like really kind of tailed down.
Right.
Which made for just a very ending in my opinion.
Yeah. If you believe in redemption, I'm calling to you from another dimension. That's how it repeats on the outro. So little political.
Yeah.
That's
There you go.
pretty much the
That's
album.
it.
Let's Fight with Tools.
You know, like I prefaced from the beginning, you know, not the best album I've ever listened to, not the best band I've ever listened to. You can get super, super critical and tear this apart if you really wanted to. Or, you know, you kind of look at it from like that fact that you're a jazz, fusion, rap, rock. There's really not many other bands that do this kind of music, and it's fun to listen to.
Yeah.
So if we're going with our, what do we got, our number one right now?
Yeah.
That's tough. You know, I'm not going to go number one with either of the singles. I don't think
me
those
neither.
are, you know, their best songs anyway. I'm gonna say my number one, the most enjoyable. Never Had It.
Okay.
I really like Never Had It. I like the female vocals. I think they do a really good job with it. I know I was stealing that from Joe. So yeah, Never Had It's for me.
I really thought I was going to be like...
The only one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you got there. Unfortunately, I'm not going to Never Had It.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I'm actually going with Stand Up. I really enjoyed this one.
Okay, cool.
I think it might... Was there a third single, or is there only two? Because this one has like 5 million streams, and the other
Yeah,
one
there
just
are
had,
a lot.
like around
The official singles on Wikipedia, which we know is the end-all be-all.
one. Sponsored.
Yep.
I wish.
Handlebars
NPR
and
and
Rise.
Wow. We really have the cool sponsors today.
Yeah, Raw, we're really
So,
trendsetters.
Yeah. But no, I enjoy this. It has those strings really prominently, and not a lot of guitar or bass. It's just that strings and vocals and drums, you know.
Yeah.
And it really it feels really old school and revolutionary, which I thought was kind of a cool twist on their sound. So Stand Up is my favorite.
Mine's Never Had It. It just has a cool sound to it. It's very low key, but it's full of different sounds. I like the alternating vocals between the male rap and the female lead. I thought they did really well with that.
Yeah.
Never Had It. My bottom track is Handlebars. I can't
Oh, wow.
stand it. Yeah,
Okay.
Going with the single.
Yeah, it's really too bad that song is their hit. I just feel like it's too cliche. It's just too typical. It's corny.
It's
Yes,
their
absolutely.
It's their song, you
It's too
know,
bad.
and
Yeah, you're right.
it's just not for me. So
Okay.
yeah,
We Are Winning is always a hard one for me to get into.
Yeah.
Just with the spoken part. I mean, I get it, but I don't.
Mm-hmm.
It's in a section of the album where things just kind of fell off a cliff. So yeah.
and they took pretty much the same music as the
Yeah.
outro is talking about Fight with Tools. So it's like, does that song really have any purpose?
Yeah.
Does it add anything?
Yeah, honestly, I agree. Either We Are Winning or Anne Braden. I could put either of them in there. And, you know, it's unfortunate because they do have a lot of salient talking points on there, but that's really all it is. And I
Yeah.
think they should have just focused more on the songwriting abilities.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Although I could totally put Handlebars there because I'm not a big fan of that song either.
Yeah.
My sleepy, dark, tranquilized, gallopy horse. Although, yeah. Also, if you're your first time listening, that's our sleeper track, by the way.
Yeah.
I went with the rhythm method. I thought it was a really cool way to incorporate a bit of a shake-up on the album. You know, nothing too crazy, but it picked up the tempo a lot, and also weird time signature again. I love that.
Yeah.
And, you know, get people up and moving right after some other slower tracks and lightens the mood.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Rhythm Method Move. Great song, fun song. It's almost too bad that it was that late in the album. I almost kind of wish Combat and Rhythm Method were moved up a little more. I don't know where, but
Yeah.
I really like Rhythm Method. It's my sleepy dark horse.
Yeah, I'm going with Combat, actually. I just love the way that, you know, Combat
Yeah,
plays in with
yeah.
the vocals, and they really just rhythmically, that's a really tight song.
All right, but yeah, that's pretty much the album. In terms of rating, I'm not as much of it as Mike, or much into it as Mike is. I do think, I don't know. I feel like I was raised in a bit of a different hip hop style era where it's a bit less full band sound, and I don't know, to the point where it's more synthetic and more bass driven.
Yeah.
So the full band rap sound just doesn't really do it for me. So I'm sitting probably around in between a 2 and 2.5 for me. There are some tracks I think are really interesting and have their merits, but I don't know, just didn't really scratch that itch for me.
I gotcha. So are you not like a Linkin Park guy?
No, not really.
Yeah, right. So
No.
they're like quintessential rap rock. you know?
Yeah, not
Yeah.
a rap rock kind of guy.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Okay.
Even Rage to a certain degree, I'm not a huge fan of,
Oh,
but
okay,
I
alright.
understand it. You know.
Yeah.
I can vibe with it.
See, Rage I consider more of a rock band than a rap. It just so happens that the singer like kind of raps.
Yeah,
It's just how he sings.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a little different for me. Anyway, for my rating, I'm sitting at about a 3. I'm giving this a 3.
Sure.
I thought it was a little long at points. I thought they could have trimmed a couple tracks off. 3 for me.
Yeah, I'm actually sitting about the same.
Yeah.
Like I said, you know, I didn't pick this album because it was the best album. I didn't pick this album because, this band's amazing. I just picked it because it was different and it had a different vibe to it, and we haven't done something kind of like this. And I thought it was a fun album. I agree. You get past like Rhythm Method and it kind of dies off. I do understand the whole ending with Rise. That kind of like that was like their chant together song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wish it had a little bit more to it, like a little more oomph.
Yeah.
But it had, the way the vocals and the rhythm section and the way they blend all those different instruments, I thought they do a really good job with it. They're very tight with it. And it's just above average for me, so give it a 3.
Sure.
Cool. I'd be curious to listen to some of their other stuff.
Yeah, their
Their
second
newer stuff,
album's
too.
pretty good too.
Yeah.
If you listen to that, I think you'll like that one too.
I want to see what they sound like current day too.
Yeah.
Cool. There you go.
How you feeling on Doobage by Bad Sons?
This was
Great.
my beer.
Yeah.
I think I'm giving this a 5.
Ooh.
Really?
I'm giving this a 5. This is a great IPA. I can drink this all the time. And the difference maker for me is that it's 9%
Yeah.
That's true too.
You know, I really think they did a good job on this. I wish this was kind of a yearly beer release. So yeah, another 5.
Wow.
I really like it, and it was sitting for a while as we're talking, and I drink it again, and it just has that crisp taste for me too. There's really nothing lingering after.
Yeah, it's a smooth IPA, and being an IPA, that's definitely higher in alcohol content, which you kind of don't taste it, and I give it a 4.
Yeah.
It's a solid IPA. I would drink it. You could drink a couple of them. You'd end up in trouble, but you could drink a couple of them.
Yeah.
No real aftertaste. I won't say it has an X factor. Like, it doesn't have any specific flavor that's, oh my God, this is so much better than this other IPA or whatever.
Yeah.
But it is a very clean, smooth, just good tasting IPA.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not as much of a fan as you guys were. I'm not.
Okay.
I didn't really taste what the big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as. I would be interested to try the Doobage.
Kinda compare.
Dubious. Yeah.
Dubious. Excuse
Yeah.
me.
That's okay.
Just to kind of see the differences in between them. I'm honestly sitting probably like a 2.5 again.
Okay.
All right.
Just didn't really scratch that itch as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. I like the hoppiness. It really did really shine in there, and it did go down smooth. But I don't know. It just kind of tasted like every other IPA to me.
Yeah.
It really didn't really have any kind of big things. But I'm sorry to step on that.
It is.
bubble.
It is okay. I mean,
Yeah, that's right. I didn't like it. So
man, God damn.
Tom didn't like
We
it.
should.
God.
We have yet to really let loose on one another on this.
Yeah.
Like,
Fuck you. It's a 2.
we're like so nice to each other.
It's true.
That's because we're good friends.
We are good
Yes.
friends. Cool. There you go. All right. Sounds good.
Shout them out.
Yeah. So we have Bad Sons out of Derby, Connecticut. Valley Beer. Instagram is Bad Sons Beer. Go check them out. It's a great brewery. And then Flobots. They're on Instagram. Flobots Music. And I'd be curious to hear what else
They
they
got a
have.
few other albums coming out. So.
They put a little EP out in 2020 called Flobots Present Platypus.
Yes.
So maybe that was the platypus they saw in
yeah.
handlebars.
I believe that their EP before this might have been called Platypus.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
Before
yeah.
the debut. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they put a single out in 2021 as well called Me and You, which seems to be streaming pretty well. So
Yeah.
Okay.
go listen to that.
Cool.
They do a really good cover of Happy Together.
That's what I was just talking about. Yeah,
cool.
it's
Yes.
called Me and You, Happy Together.
Oh,
That's the one they just
that
put out,
song.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's
Yeah.
actually
So
been out
Happy
for a while. So
Together.
maybe they
Oh,
re-released
yeah.
it.
All
I
right.
don't know.
Interesting.
Maybe they re-released it because I've heard that before.
Yeah.
And it wasn't this year.
I'll have to check it out.
But
Cool,
it is
cool.
a good, yeah.
Nice.
Alright.
All right. Next episode. Where are we at?
So,
39.
39,
Wow,
yeah.
39.
Guess it's producer's pick, right?
Yeah.
I guess. Sure.
I sure.
Do it
I mean, you brought it up doing it, but
Yes.
I feel like we have to do it.
Yes,
We
we kind
should
of
do
have
it.
to. It's really just a group pick at this point. Olivia Rodrigo. I don't know if you guys have heard of her. She's very, very popular as of the moment.
Yes.
She just put out an album. I want to say, well, in terms of recording this, it won't be out until a little bit after that, but it just came out. It's called Sour. And she is very, very popular right now.
Yeah.
And
Big song, Driver's
Driver's
License.
License.
yes,
Yeah.
and then she also has
Deja Vu
Deja
and
Vu,
Good
and
For You.
Good For You is one of the bigger
So
songs
this is her
from her
debut,
too.
yeah.
Yes, her debut album. I think she's only like 20 or 21, very, very young.
I think she's another Disney Channel.
Yeah, she was
product.
on Disney Channel. She was on High School Musical, the series.
Oh,
Which is
okay.
an actual name of a show.
Wow.
But I've been hearing a lot of people stream and listen to this. My
Same
sister
here.
and my girlfriend both really, really love it. So we're going to be doing that. And to pair, I have yet to choose, but it's very obviously going to be a sour.
Yeah.
Because that's the name of the album. So,
Sounds
Alright.
good.
so a pretty easy pair. Thank you, Olivia. And yeah.
Thanks,
that's-
love.
Yeah. My
One love.
My girl, yeah.
Cool. So we have that to look forward to.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed. Keep on the bus with us. We have a lot of cool plans coming this summer, rest of the year. Hops and Bops Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. We're streaming on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. For Mike and Tom, I've been Joe. We'll see you next time.
Peace.